What's going on, everyone? This is your Astrology Horoscope for the weekend of July 29th and 30th. I'm astrologer Alex Skiles, and welcome to the Moonbase. Thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Hope you all had a great week. Venus is finally retrograded back 1 degree, so it's finally on its way. So it's hit 27 degrees of Leo, and here in the afternoon, the moon is going to come to 27 degrees of Sagittarius and make a nice little fire trine to Venus. And I think this is kind of a rejuvenation of where we forgot to really feel free to express ourselves and to really love ourselves and to really light that fire to know what is really truly valuable, and maybe where we've forgotten to have fun or express ourselves and really be around people in fun situations that just really help us let go. But at the same time, this moon's going to square Neptune as this is happening, and Venus is making it in conjunction to Neptune as well. So what this really means is that with this rejuvenation of this fire and things that have been maybe forgotten or suppressed, this is a lot of suppression coming up and being reignited here, because this Venus retrograde is, bringing up a lot of areas where we felt suppressed and what we've repressed emotionally. And with this moon activating a square to Neptune as this trine is happening, it's like really realizing where we don't want to get lost and where we want to maintain our boundaries, and being honest about that, being truthful about that, and, creating limitations, because this is where Neptune retrograde really has issues with, is really creating limitations and boundaries towards how far it's gonna, be from reality. And definitely this is a weekend where we want to kind of step out of the norm and step into more pleasant, fun, fiery situations that are going to kind of take us out of our daily routine. This weekend is definitely not a routine weekend at all. So we definitely want to accept stepping out of that routine and having fun and, fucking rolling with the fire, essentially. But we don't want to take it too far with this moon squaring Neptune. We don't want to get caught up in weird places and end up in weird places, or have one too many drinks, or just, get overly confident with things as well. And I think this Venus making this inconjunct or quincunx to Neptune has brought up a lot of insecurities about our self-identity and how we want to express ourselves, or maybe the ways we wanted to express ourselves, but we haven't had the opportunity or had the confidence to do so. And this moon at 27 of Sagittarius making this fire trine to Venus is really giving us that amplification to feel free and just rip off the veil and rip off the insecurities and just go for it. But on the other end of things, it could be this kind of battle in between your emotions of like, oh, is this too much? Or am I being judged in weird ways that make me uncomfortable? Or, and it's like this weekend, we're really getting a charge to kind of overcome this inconjunct. And this is the second time this is happening here. And then once Venus goes direct here in September and going into October, Venus is going to make this final inconjunction to Neptune, where we've really been facing these insecurities of being, too afraid to express ourselves and being uncomfortable, or getting too caught up in the victim state and, I'm not good enough to express myself or be that Leo energy, or, or being too caught up in being judged too hard, or just a really low self-worth. And that's what this inconjunction is really helping us kind of face and is challenging us, and it brings up a lot of awkward energy that can be really triggering, but it's really important to help us get to that place where we can feel free. And that's what this moon in Sag really wants us to feel, is that freedom of speaking our truth, expressing our truth, and not being afraid to just rip off the veil of these insecurities. So it's super dynamic. There's a lot of dynamics through this weekend. So I will say at the same time, this moon is going to trine the north node, sextile the south node, and this Venus is still active, in this. We'll just go ahead and give it some leeway and say that there's a nice little grand fire trine going on. So all fire signs are activated here. Venus making the sextile as well to the south node. Venus isn't exact at this 28 degree mark, but the moon, the north node, and the south node are all at 28. Venus is at 27. I think there is still an activation here. It almost looks like a kite. This is like a kite, right? And I feel what this is that this moon is really activating and recharging us in ways that we really want to express ourselves and create. But it's really helping us let go of relationship situations that have hindered us in ways where we do feel free, or where we haven't felt free in relationship situations to express ourselves and create and just be the true golden hearted Leo beast that we are really reevaluating, because it's all inside of us. It's just really now being reevaluated in some really intense ways. So I think this aspect with Venus and the moon and the north and south node, it's like it's wanting us to really get over where we've gotten stuck in codependent situations where you give your own creative self-expression away and you have nothing left. Or this is really helping us get on that path of that Aries north node and really embodying this new identity that we're developing here over the next 18 months. And this Venus retrograde is really like kicking us into gear to really accept this new Aries identity. And eventually we're going to have to face these wounds that our identity has really taken hits. And it's almost like these arrows have just been shot into us repeatedly, for some years now. 2018 and 2019 with this Chiron transit. So there's a lot of identity. It's a big identity crisis here, but this is like really reigniting that fire to help us get on that path towards really finding our true selves, our true Aries selves. All this fire this weekend is like, there's a lot of fun. There's a lot of letting go. I think this is a very interesting weekend where, you may have something planned and it's not going to go as planned, and it's usually going to work out better because this isn't a weekend where you're going to feel like you're in control. With this Venus retrograding in Leo, it does want to try to control, like, we're going to go here and do this, and we're going to go out, and this is this whole big grandiose idea, like the meals and the clubs and the parties. Like, I think this is a weekend where with this moon in Sag, it's really going to take us into fun, exciting places that, we kind of really need that unconventionality or that spontaneity that the Sagittarius energy is bringing. And just accepting it and rolling with it. And I think we're going to find ourselves in a whole new confidence by just kind of rolling with how things shift and change. We definitely don't want to get caught up in that Neptune square to the moon of overdoing things or getting lost or going too far out of reality. We want to stay grounded this weekend, and that's what this Neptune retrograde is really all about. Is when Neptune retrogrades, it's not about necessarily finding that highest spiritual vibration. It's more of tuning down that high, super intense spiritual vibration so we can reassess our reality. So when Neptune does come back online, like we are ready to really move forward and progress through that higher spiritual frequency. So definitely want to stay grounded, but it's going to be a super fun weekend and expect the unexpected for sure. And then by Sunday, the moon's going to come into Capricorn, and by Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning, it's going to trine Mars. So, this is where we're kind of getting control over our environment, our situations, where, like being confident in these new structures that we've been building, or getting confident in how things have fallen away in this new path towards building a new structure. This moon trine Mars has really given us the confidence to really just like hold on to that power and keep building towards a higher future. And emotionally, like we're feeling more in sync with our destiny and our purpose, and knowing how to really organize the details and put things in order and really go after a higher purpose and our higher destiny in a much more methodical and cleanly way. Mars is off that opposition to Saturn, so it's like we've already cleaned up the mess a little bit. Like we've gone through the process of really starting to clean up that mess, but now that Mercury is in Virgo, it's in its ruling sign, co-ruled by Virgo and Gemini. But when Mercury's in Virgo, it's like our minds are really sharp, our minds are really online, they're really in sync. And the fact that Mars really helped us clean up a lot of messes, and where we've just kind of gone too far out and forgotten things, but I think, maybe things that we've lost, we've uncovered things or found things, But now that Mercury is in Virgo and it's going to oppose Saturn here this coming week, here in a couple days, it's really like the conversation to Saturn that Mercury and Saturn are having is like, hey, it's like we're on the road towards really achieving this higher spiritual frequency that we're all chasing with this Neptune. And the key word is chasing, because when you're chasing something, especially when it comes to Pisces, it's like it's a never-ending loop. It's just over and over and over and over again. But this Mercury in Virgo really wants to ground itself and remind us that in order to get to a higher spiritual place, like we really have to be practical. We really have to assess our environment and take care of our environment, heal our environment, take care of our bodies, and not get too far out to where we just forget about all the physical things, which is what this Saturn and Pisces is teaching us. And it's a difficult lesson. Saturn and Pisces teaches us a really hard lesson when it comes to accepting the reality, But when Mercury opposes Saturn, when Mercury's in Virgo opposing Saturn and Pisces, like it wants us to be more aware of our reality within our environment so we can have a balance between the physical world and the spiritual world. I mean, that's the 6th and the 12th house, is having that balance between our physical world and our physical bodies, and how we take care of that, and just the simple basic things that we need to do to be healthy so we can get to a higher spiritual plane that is, out of this physical dimension here. So yeah, this is a super interesting weekend. And definitely, I mean, this moon is going to trine your Jupiter as well. So, along with this higher destiny that we've been kind of not only letting fall away, like this version of what we think our higher destiny is, I feel like now there's so much grounded energy coming in here. I mean, all this Leo energy, the sun's in Leo, Venus, I mean, there's so much intensity into just wanting to have fun and be the highest version of ourselves and create and just be in a fun place. I definitely think with all this Earth energy here with the moon and Jupiter and Virgo and Mars and Virgo, Mercury and Virgo, I mean, as much fun as we're going to be having definitely on Saturday night, it's like, all right, like on Sunday, we're definitely grounding and just kind of coming back down to earth and just feeling where we're at and enjoying the simple, basic things. You know, as simple as just enjoying just a nice meal. I mean, Saturday, the dynamic of Saturday compared to Sunday is like two different worlds, you know. Saturday is more of like, you know, the ultimate National Lampoon Vacation, or, you know, like a Six Flags theme park, Disneyland kind of vibe. Sagittarius, right? But on Sunday, like, it's more of like coming back down, coming off the high, and really wanting to focus on healing ourselves and just wanting to be in the basic things. And that's going to prepare us for next week. And next week, you know, we got the full moon in Aquarius. So put your tinfoil hats on, because the aliens are back, everybody, if you haven't heard. So on Sunday, we want to ground a little bit, go outside, put our feet in the grass, enjoy a meal, because you might get abducted come next week. So, boom. Holy shit, dude. This world's crazy, man. It's beautiful, but we all knew it was coming. We all knew. Full moon in Aquarius. Get ready for some serious curveballs. Serious curveballs. I mean, they already came in all last week, so. But we're definitely closing out this chapter of what we thought our reality was is not what it truly is. Right before this full moon, the moon's going to conjunct Pluto. So I definitely think on a larger scale of things, beyond our personal lives, on the outer realms of this craziness, we're going to see some super intense shit going on going into next week as we go into this full moon. So on Sunday, we want to really ground ourselves and just remind ourselves that we are on planet Earth, whether we like it or not. So let's see what we got in the cards. Well, we got the Four of Swords upright. So, like I said, this week we really want to ground. We don't want to overdo things, you know, and we just want to rest, you know. And when we can really heal ourselves and rest, I mean, this is a very Virgo card, you know. It's like recharging, rejuvenating, you know. And when we can do that, we can really like let off those very intense and somewhat painful kinds of situations that came up with this North Node, South Node, T-square to Pluto. It's like we're getting through that now. So we need to rest. We need to really chill the F out this weekend before all the intensity of next week comes through. So when the aliens do come back, we at least know where we're at, you know, and we don't want to forget that. So, you know, the Four of Swords really, we just really want to take it easy this weekend, because Saturday is going to be a nice big party. So take advantage of Sunday and heal and rest, eat good, sleep good. That's what this weekend's all about. So thank you all for watching. I will see you guys on Monday, going into the full moon. So have a good weekend. Peace out.